I froze mid-step when she shouted, "You're useless, Mark." Her voice cracked like thunder, echoing through the living room. Laughter followed, her friends laughing at me. My blood boiled, but I stayed silent, gripping the tray I'd brought out for them. Glasses clinked as her friends smirked behind their champagne, exchanging those cruel, knowing looks that sting worse than words. Lisa stood tall in her red dress, her face glowing under the chandelier, but not with pride. She was enjoying this. She had never humiliated me before, at least not like this. I'd made dinner for them, cleaned the house, fixed her car earlier that morning. But one dropped napkin and suddenly I was useless. I walked back to the kitchen, heart pounding. Every step felt heavy, like wading through mud. My ears burned from their laughter. I heard her voice trail after me, sweet and dismissive. "Ignore him, girls. He's sensitive." That night I didn't sleep. I stared at the ceiling, listening to the faint hum of the ceiling fan, my thoughts circling like vultures. Was I really useless? I thought of the years I'd worked overtime, how I'd built her photography business from scratch, handled the finances, supported her dreams while mine quietly died. Something had changed in her. The late nights editing, the hushed phone calls, the constant need for space. I'd ignored the signs. Love does that. It blinds you just enough to make excuses for what hurts. The next morning, she acted as if nothing had happened. She hummed while making coffee, scrolling through her phone. I watched her thumb dance across the screen, her smile faint but telling. I'd seen that smile before, the one she used to give me when our love still felt new. "About last night," I began. She didn't look up. "Oh, Mark, don't be dramatic. It was a joke." "A joke?" My voice trembled. "In front of your friends. You called me useless." She rolled her eyes. "You're overreacting. You embarrassed me by spilling wine and I what?" I snapped, cutting her off. "Embarrassed you. By existing." Her silence said more than any apology could. She picked up her bag, brushed past me, and left for work. But I knew she wasn't headed to the studio. Her car turned left at the intersection, not right, the way to her coworker Ethan's apartment. Ethan. The name alone made my stomach twist. I'd met him once. A tall, charming man with that smug grin that never reached his eyes. He'd been around too often lately, always helping her with projects. My gut had whispered something then, but I'd ignored it. That day I followed her. My hands shook on the steering wheel, my mind racing with every reason she could give me if I was wrong. But deep down I knew I wasn't. I parked across the street, heart hammering, and watched her walk up to Ethan's door. She didn't knock. She used a key. I sat there, frozen, staring at the door that had just swallowed her whole. My mind screamed, but my body felt numb. Minutes passed. Then an hour. When she finally came out, her hair was messy, her smile, radiant. The kind of smile I hadn't seen in months. When she came home later, I was calm, too calm. She greeted me with her usual detached tone, pretending the day had been normal. I watched her pour a glass of wine, her wedding ring glinting under the soft kitchen light. "How was work?" I asked quietly. "Exhausting," she sighed. "Ethan must keep you busy." Her hand froze midair. The glass tilted slightly, spilling a drop of red onto the counter. "What's that supposed to mean?" she said, her voice sharp. "It means I saw you." Her eyes widened. For the first time I saw fear flicker there. She set the glass down slowly. "You're being paranoid." "No," I said, my voice low, steady. "I was paranoid for months. Now I'm certain." Her face hardened. "Fine," she hissed. "You want the truth." "I'm seeing him. He makes me feel alive. Something you stopped doing a long time ago." It felt like a knife twisting inside my chest. But even through the pain, something cold settled in me. A strange clarity. "Alive," I repeated, nodding. "I see." The following weekend, she threw another party. Same friends, same shallow laughter. I played my role, quiet, helpful, invisible. But this time I had a plan. Halfway through dinner, I raised my glass. Everyone, I said with a smile. I want to toast my wife for being so alive lately. She shot me a warning look, but I continued. She's been inspired, rejuvenated. I think it's wonderful how much Ethan has contributed to that. The room went still. Someone coughed. Lisa's face turned pale, then crimson. Mark, that's enough, she muttered through clenched teeth. Kept smiling. Oh, don't be shy, honey. You told me he makes you feel alive. I figured everyone should know what good teamwork looks like. The silence was deafening. Her friends looked at each other, eyes wide, some hiding smirks. Lisa stood abruptly, knocking over her chair. You're pathetic, she screamed. You think this makes you a man? I met her gaze, unflinching. No, I said softly. But it makes me free. She stormed out, slamming the door behind her. The guests awkwardly excused themselves soon after, their whispers trailing off into the night. I stood alone in the wreckage of what used to be our life. Empty glasses, spilled wine, the faint echo of laughter fading from the walls. For the first time in months I felt peaceful. Her betrayal had burned everything down. But in the ashes, I found something she couldn't destroy, my dignity. And that, I realized, was my real revenge.